Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And yes, it's that Prem show. We're not only going to be doing this weekend's games, we're also going to be talking about the midweek games as well, giving our predictions, getting your views and opinions as well, guys. So make sure that you're getting involved in the chat. We will be doing our combined 11 for the best team as always as well. No Ram again this week. He is having a little break from YouTube. He's got his own sort of personal stuff going on as well, but I have got someone else that's going to be joining me. He's actually been on the football terrace, actually, is where I met him before, once before. He'll be joining me today as well. But guys, smash the like button. Over 10 of you here. Subscribe to the channel as always if you're new. And I wrote to 5K subscribers as well. So the channel is moving in the right direction. And yeah, let's get into it. But before we move forward, do you know what time it is? Let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV. And as you can see, I have Matty, CFC Matty with me, a big Chelsea fan. Actually, I was talking about the owners and stuff before coming live with you guys as well. We will be delving into that topic because I know that's something that you guys will want me to talk about. We're talking a bit more about that. We done it on Monday where we reviewed the where we was up to date in regards to Roman and where he is. And some people say that he might still be here in the summer. He might not be. There's a lot that's still up in the air, and it will continue to be like this for a while, especially when the sanctions are looking to not be, maybe potentially not happen straight away, Matty. You know, so there's a lot going ahead. There's more news today of other business owners billionaires interested in Chelsea Football Club and looking to put a bid. The likes even Conor McGregor is even still confident in maybe potentially taking on Chelsea. He's talking about a 2.5 billion amount to be put forward as well. Matty, after what you've heard this morning, like, what's your thoughts on it all? Still, it's still up in the air, isn't it?
It is really. There's no concrete talks. There's nothing that we've because I've been watching the news quite closely. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, they said 10. I can count 8. 2 of them are consortiums. I think there's going to be. I don't think we'll know anything yet until somebody's taken 2 weeks or so in charge. You know, it was the same with when Ken Bates left the club and Roman Abramovich took over. We won't know until 2 weeks after the guy's taken over. So,
Yes.
you know, I mean, I think it was Liam Townsley, I think, that tweeted recently that, you know, you won't know about it until they take over, and especially with most of the public news anyway. Those are the ones you ignore first because, you know, most of the things happen in the background anyway.
Exactly. Guys in the chat, let's quickly say hello to you. Big up to Josh in the house. Big up to Athan. Alex, big up to you. RG, big up to you as well. Undertaker CFC, as always. Fraser, he says, Mrs. 90% buying Chelsea. I've got something to quickly show you guys before we talk about the Prem show. Big up, Gemma, mate. I hope you have a blessed day. Big up to Joy Boy as well. I hope you're well. Athan says some people are doing it behind closed doors. And that's the way these type of deals are going to be done. And people forget that the way Chelsea are run, even forgetting what's going on right now, I'm talking about even, you know, trying to sign football players. They do keep the journalists in the dark, and they keep us as the fan base in the dark. Look at the Kai Havertz signing, for example. We knew it was going to happen, but it took months and months and months, and then bang, you know, it was like with a week in, he was already agreed and signed and blah 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 blah. But we have got a bit of news in regards before we get on to it from Ekrem Connor. Now, Ekrem Connor is a big Turkish journalist in Italy. I've spoken to him a couple of times as well. He's very well established as well in what he does. He came out and said that Muslim Bayrak, this is his comment, we will make an announcement for Chelsea on Thursday. The world press says that we have 90% of the Chelsea, 90% of Chelsea, and Roman Abramovich agrees with that, is what he's come out with here. He seems pretty confident, Matty, that he is going to be the man to take over Chelsea Football Club. The only thing that kind of steers me away from, even though I'm Turkish as well, I kind of know his background, whatever else. If I'm Roman, maybe steers you away from someone like Muslim Bayrak, is that he's been very vocal in the media. He's made it sort of a big thing to be like, hey, I'm the man, you know, I'm going to get Chelsea. And I've just got the feeling like Roman Abramovich as a businessman is not going to like that type of owner. And I think it's important that he's going to want an owner that's not looking about his image. Because at the moment, listen, Muslim Barak, no one knew about until now, and all of a sudden he's using it to like elevate him around the world, to promote himself as a businessman. And if you're Roman Abramovich, maybe you're thinking to yourself, yeah, is this guy is he just looking at us as like a franchise? Is he just trying to like promote his own business and try and push himself more forward? Like, what are your thoughts on this Muslim Barak guy?
To me, I mean, the way I see that is that it's a lot. It kind of reminds me of the American Swiss consortium.
Yeah,
it's used for publicity, and the only thing that I can say about this Bozrak deal is that the only thing that's his saving grace is he's a friend of Roman Abramovich. He knows Abramovich quite well. Apparently, he's got a good personal rapport with him. In my opinion, out of all of them, he's been the most vocal. I've been watching his Instagram sort of group thing very closely, and he said, "Oh well, it'll be done. We'll have Turkish flags above Stamford Bridge, and all that sort of thing," which I admire. I love somebody that turns around and says, "We're going to get this done. We're going to get that done. We're going to get this done. We're going to get that done." But as a Chelsea fan base, sometimes it's best to remain silent because it's a lot easier because then we can work on deals in the dark and undercover. And to be honest with you, I think really that's how business should be done rather than being vocal. But I think he's probably the best one to me out of the American owners. And he's probably got the most wealth, I think, from what I've seen. It's like that Saudi media group. We don't know how much they've got. We don't know how much they're going to use us for. Some of them are even using it to promote their business. I mean, this guy's got cryptocurrency in a construction industry.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
you got to think of Roman Abramovich, for example. Like, he could have heavy sanctions. How getting paid whatever it is, the $3 billion. Yeah, that could be froze against him. What way can he kind of shift the money to kind of like protect it? Cryptocurrency, as we know, is not even legal right now at the moment, as we understand. And if you invest in cryptocurrency at the moment, they deem it as an investment, so you don't get taxed on it and things like that. So maybe he uses this Muslim guy's company to invest that money into a coin and let it just sit until obviously this blows over and then pulls it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's little things, and not just that. Muslim's a developer. Like, he's a luxury developer. He does a lot in England, a lot of like English developments as well. When we talk about stadiums and things like that, he would. This is like his resume. Like, this is what he does. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's got his own architects, he's got his own men. All right, he might need a bigger developer beside him to do it because of the size of the job. But like, he understands that role. Do you know what I mean? So maybe Roman's looking at that. Maybe he's looking at his own investment. Maybe he's also looking at maybe having the option to potentially be involved a bit later on when things blow over and having an agreement with an owner that's going to allow him to do that and stuff. So I think there's a lot, mate. There's a lot.
I think that personally, I've got a gut feeling that Abramovich will want to have a buyback clause. I've got this gut feeling that he'll want a buyback clause because he'll wait for it to all blow over. And I can see him coming back. His kids are Chelsea fans, mate. He won't want to disappoint his kids. And and from the one thing that I noticed as well is that if you're going in with your mates will always make sure that you've got a bit of leeway. You know what I mean? So I can see that happening.
Would Chelsea accept Saudi investment with all the projects Chelsea do for no to hate and that? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot going on with Saudis. There's also a lot going on in Turkey at the moment financially as well. Maybe there's, 10 different options. If that's true, that's a lot of options for Roman Abramovich to sort of have to delve his head into. And like I said, he said it himself. This is not something he's going to fast track. There's going to be so many billionaires and consortiums across the world that are going to be interested in taking control of this. This is a big status. Chelsea Football Club are a big status. They're one of the best football clubs in the world. They've been built by that because of Roman Abramovich building us up to that level, which is where we are today. When you think where we was at Ken Bates to where we are now, 3 billion is a lot of money. Where we was only £1, So there's a lot more there. There's a lot more. And I keep saying people keep going on about having single owners. The single owner scenario is it's a dying breed. It's not happening. You don't have that type of Roman Abramovich guy that can just come in and buy the size of Chelsea. £3 billion is a lot of money even for the richest people in the world, because it's a small minority. It's a small minority of people that would be able to afford that, and still invest.
Yeah, I think not just that. I think a consortium as well is going to get very messy. in my opinion.
I agree.
One person will either agree and another person will disagree, and you'll look at the likes of FSG, look at the Glazers, the Cronkies. They're all they're arguing amongst themselves, really, some of them. And I think with Abramovich, if he wanted a player, for example, it's here you go off and get him. It's the same with the Havertz situation. My only gripe with it all is I hope they ain't American, and if they are American, they better have money to spend.
Then it's Elon Musk.
Jeff Bezos, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think people are scared of the American. For me, it's not even about if it's American, Turkish, Saudi, Asian. It's for me, it's having the right intentions. What is it they're going to do? They're going to come in and franchise the football club. I don't think Roman Abramovich is going to do that. I think there'll be guarantees. I think there will be guarantees in the sale as well, where he will demand that the club is kept at a high level as it has been in terms of being competitive, being able to compete at the elitist order with other teams. Like there's a lot that I think Roman Abramovich needs to make sure is there before he actually announced it. And this Muslim guy, I know he's making it public as if like he's been saying it since day one, isn't he? Really, I've got this place, this is mine, I'm going to get sort of thing. I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see by Thursday. He said Thursday. Thursday is tomorrow. So let's see what.
That's a lot of confidence. That's a lot of confidence.
What I'm saying is that's a lot of confidence to come out in the media and just say, like he's very like as if to say like we're getting this done. Like, do you know what I mean? That's a big statement for him because that could ruin his own reputation. Just to keep coming out saying stupid things like he's doing at the moment.
Yeah.
Guys,
no Conor McGregor. No Conor McGregor.
No Conor McGregor. Conor, you stick to whatever it is you're doing, mate. Drinking your whiskey and whatever else, mate. Yeah. Can you imagine him going to our games, like just strolling like that? Like,
yeah, I'll knock you out. That sort of thing.
In the face if he doesn't let us win the game or something.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor threatening the referees.
Yeah.
He would though. Imagine if we got cheated in a game in a final. I can imagine him going downstairs offering the referees out. Do you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of guy he is, isn't he? But
at least VAR might actually give us a chance for a change. That sort of thing.
Yeah, true. Guys, we are here to talk Prem show. We will be doing more of the Roman Abramovich saga tomorrow. Back with the preview show for the Norwich game, which kicks off tomorrow night. So we'll be doing that tomorrow. And then we've got the Newcastle preview. We've got the match reaction to the Norwich game. More Roman Abramovich talk. There's so much coming your way this as well. There's only 12 minutes in. There's nearly 50 of you here. Big up to everyone that's already here as well. Appreciate you all here. But we are going to delve into that Prem show because there's a lot of football to be played this week. A lot for us to go through. I want you guys to get involved in the chat as well. We're not going to talk about the games that have just gone. We're just going to talk about because there's so much to talk about in terms of games going forward. And in terms of the combined 11, I'm looking at the games, mate, and I think to myself, what is the best game of this whole week? And there's not many pretty games. Maybe Man United Tottenham. Yeah. I think we should do a combined 11 for Man United Tottenham. Yeah, that's probably our best shout in terms of quality. Arsenal Leicester, no, I don't think so. So, all right, let's get into it. Match day 20 or 38. There is some midweek games kicking off from tomorrow as well, Thursday. 3 games for you, starting with Leeds versus Aston Villa. Leeds have got a win probability margin of 36% compared to Aston Villa's 37%. So it's quite tighter than I expect, to be fair. When you look at their last 5 games, they lost their last 5, 23 points. They're pretty much getting dragged into a relegation battle, Leeds. And then you've got, obviously, the Aston Villa, who have won the last 2 games. They lost the last 2 and then won their last 2 and then lost 2 and then drawn 1, 33 points. One game in hand against Leeds as well. I mean, they're in the better form at the moment. They're winning games, Aston Villa, and Leeds are in a real rut at the moment, mate. So when you look at this game tomorrow, who do you think's got it?
Probably Villa, if I'm honest. I think Villa have probably got a bit more in the tank. I think Gerrard is, saying that he's probably lost against Watford and Newcastle previously. I think they're the team to kind of take on Leeds. I think it's a shame, really, because Leeds, with Bielsa, it was kind of a fairy tale, really, wasn't it? You had the godfather of all tactics managing Leeds, and he did all right for his first couple of seasons, and then it's all started to die down. And he's had some tough opposition, to be fair. Yeah. I mean, he's had Liverpool, he's had United was a tough one, and so was Spurs. Conte managed to turn it around. But I think it could be a 1-0 Villa, I think.
1-0 Villa is what Matty's gone for. People in the chat, what are you saying? We've got obviously 2-2 from Noah, 3-1 from 3-1 win for Joy Boy as well. Big up to Declared in the house as well. Nice to see him. Leicester win the Premier League next season. I don't think so, Shelley. They're so far rock bottom down the hill. That's not happening. They're going down. They're going down.
Brendan Rodgers is going to get the sack next year.
Yeah, who the hell is Nick Caddy? He's a big Chelsea fan. That's the first one thing I'd say to you guys. He's supported Chelsea for a long time. If he is putting a bid in, then it'll be interesting to see, because I think the likes, he was already confirmed that he might need consortiums with him anyway, even for that bid. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I haven't read too much into it, to be fair. I've been out most of this morning, but I need to stay away from that. Go on,
yeah,
go on.
the only thing I like about Nick Candy is his wife, which is Holly Valance.
Holly Valance, you heard her.
Oh, she's gorgeous. She was gorgeous back in the day.
Yeah. 100%. Listen, we're going to talk more about that, don't worry. If any breaking news happens while we're here, we'll bring it up. No problem. We'll have to revert to it. But at the moment, we need to stick to the games for this week, guys.
Yeah.
Leeds 1-1, because if with Jesse Marsh said better defensively wise in his first game, and that I think they will play better and get more points to stay up. Leeds, I don't know, is the answer. Is that you expect to bounce back now that he's gone. It usually happens with most teams, but at the moment, I'm not seeing it. Big up to Sosa in the house as well. He just says, hopes we get a good owner. Aussie Holly with Turkish ripped off song. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, kiss, kiss. Yeah. Yeah. As long as we don't get Americans, I'm good. Keep hearing that. Why don't all the consultants join up to form a super consortium? Is what Craig David's saying as well.
David, man.
Avengers. Do you know what I mean? This is not like the best billionaires in the world coming together to save the world or something. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I think Aston Villa win. I think Aston Villa have picked up some form. Steven Gerrard's starting to get Ollie Watkins to play well. Coutinho seems to be a very good signing for them as well, scoring goals left, right, and centre. I'm going to go with I think Leeds will score, but I think it's going to be a 3-1. 3-1 or a 3-2 Aston Villa. I think there's going to be goals in this game. So we move from this game and then we move on to Southampton versus Newcastle. Obviously, Southampton have been in good form since recent. Obviously, 48% win probability against Newcastle on 26%. They're sitting ninth. They lost their last game, but their last 5 games are all right. With 1-3 drawn 1 and lost 1, 35 points. And they're up against the Newcastle team who are just on the bounce at the moment. Win after win. All right, draw and then a win and a win. They were rock bottom down here. And now they've found themselves all the way up to 13th and 12th, fighting their way back up. And it just goes to show, spend money well and it works, you know. And they did in January. But they are away. And they're against the Southampton team who in the likes have got people like Broha, you know, Shay Adams, some very good players that can really hurt you. They've beaten Tottenham already. They've drew at Man United at Old Trafford. Matty, is this the day where Newcastle actually now lose a game? They're on a good run.
Do you know what? I think, to be fair, I slandered Eddie Howe when he first took charge, because I thought, oh God, it's another one that they think he's going to lead them to the promised land, and you know, and I actually thought Benitez was going to take over the job. But then as soon as I've seen these game bounces, I thought, wow, Newcastle are actually getting their act together. So, you know, and I'm being quite impressed. But then again, Southampton, you can't argue that Southampton are doing reasonably well as well. You know, so if I'm going to be honest, I could see it being a draw. I could see it like being either a 1-1 draw or a 0-0 draw. I don't think there's any. You know, I think they're going to be as evenly matched, to be honest.
I hear you. 3 minutes ago, Roman Abramovich has received multiple bids for Chelsea, but none have yet matched his £3 billion valuation. They've got all this money, but no one's matching the £3 billion bid. It's like they're all coming around sort of the same figure as what Absolute Chelsea at James Ollie has just said about 3 minutes ago. So there's a little update for you guys, as I've got it in the backgrounds as well, because this is a time where lots of usually happens, especially with journalists. But in terms of this game, I could see what you're saying. I think a draw is a good shout. At the same time, I do feel that Southampton are a bit either really hot or they're really cold. And I do think that after the defeat that they picked up against Aston Villa, which was quite shocking, this could be the game where they just bounce back again, you know. So for me, I think Newcastle are going to lose this one. And I don't think it's going to be a smashing. I think it's going to be like a 2-0 Southampton. And it'll be quite close game. But I think Southampton have enough quality to to beat Newcastle in this one. But we'll see. Big up to DJ Savjay in the house as well. 2-2. Blake agrees with you on that one. 1-1 draw as well. So everyone's going for draws. Everyone's playing it safe. I'm going with a 2-0. 2-0 Southampton on this one. If we move from this game, we move on to Norwich versus Chelsea. Our team, Matty, are playing against Norwich. Their game in hand, obviously, when you look at Liverpool and Man City who are above us. It's 53 points. You know, we're slowly starting to win games again. This is the time where I keep saying we need to put a good run of form together. There's a lot of the next 5-6 games, winnable games for Chelsea Football Club. Got to get it done. 53 points. They're up against a team in Norwich who we know are rock bottom, struggling for form. If we can't beat Norwich, Matty, then we might as well just give up on third, innit? Because these lot are really bad, aren't they? It's not,
I feel sorry for Norwich personally. I mean, I usually go there every year for a holiday, and you know the club is an amazing club. And I feel sorry for Dean Smith, who's been put in a situation really where it's sink or swim. And I think, to be honest with you, if we can't beat Norwich, man, we might as well just give up on Champions League altogether. But I think if I'm honest, with Tuchel's expertise, I can see like being a 2 or 3-0 win. So,
there's one big key in Reece James, isn't there? That's returned.
Yeah.
We just look so much better with him. I mean, you watched the last game round. Did you not just feel that we would just look so more fluid in the attack?
Yeah, I think so. I think Reece James has added that extra dynamic, and I'm hoping that Lukaku will obviously pick up some shooting boots while he's at it, because that's all he keeps complaining about is he's not receiving the balls in. And when you've had the likes of Chilwell, who's hopefully coming back from injury, I don't think it will be featured in the game against Norwich, but you see Reece James, and you know, hopefully we might have that goal scoring power that we were actually promised at the start of when we bought him. So who knows? I mean, I'd like to see us win about 2 or 3-0.
What's your overall thoughts on the whole Havertz and Lukaku thing? There was a lot of talks about you should build the team around Lukaku and get the best out of him, and then there's the whole talks about Kai Havertz, and you know, even though he's not a striker, but he works better in the system and seems to be getting better and better each and every game. When I look at him, I mean, what was your overall thoughts on both of these players?
I say one saying and one saying only. In Tuchel we trust. And I think the way that Tuchel has got a system is that, you know, it's all pretty much trying to get the best out of the wing backs and trying to whip in balls. I think Lukaku has been such a massive disappointment. And I think, to be quite honest with you, the way that Lukaku is, he's been such a... I mean, we've seen the Manchester United Lukaku, really. And, you know, I mean, my dad's an Evertonian. And he said to me, my dad is, he's an Evertonian. And he said to me, so when we bought him off you guys, he went missing throughout games. And he said, and he'll do exactly the same for you guys. And I said, do you think? And he goes, yeah. And I said, when he did the Arsenal business, I thought, nah, he's going to prove us wrong. He's going to be the Inter Milan Lukaku that we all know. And he's proven my dad right, that he's going to be like, he goes missing throughout games. And I mean, 8 touches, mate. 8 touches he had in one game. I mean, it was nice for him to turn up, to be quite honest with you. I mean, you know, but it's embarrassing. Whereas Kai, I can't argue. He's led us to a title.
Yeah.
You know, and he's the future, mate. You know, I mean, we're getting late comparisons of Messi and, you know, and all that. You know, and he actually put, you know, as much as he gets slandered quite a lot, he does put 110% in on the pitch. And for me, I'd rather have somebody that actually goes out there and actually wants to win the game. It's the same with Werner. People slate Werner. I'd rather have Werner than Lukaku any day of the week, because at least Werner actually tries.
Well,
Lukaku
he creates
doesn't.
something as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just with his movement, he always makes something happen, even if he isn't scoring. Do you know what I mean? But Lukaku's just, and this is the one thing that you know, we've had so many arguments with Lukaku stands in there where they're like, you got to build it around him. We don't play him the ball enough. We don't feed him enough. We don't pass to him. And I just find it excuses, because when I look at his attitude on the pitch, and I go to quite a couple of the games this year, doesn't look bothered. he's ever looks like he's ever involved. Big up to Strip Bear for the donation. Thank you for the super sticker as always. He also says that do support the channel, people, with a like or a super chat or just a follow. Please subscribe if you're new. Over 65 people here right now. Smash the likes. We should be over 30 likes, guys. Please hit that like button now. Let's get this over 30. Making our way to 50 likes as always. And yeah, subscribe as well. Best thing to do is keep Kai. Might make Lukaku want to fight more and up his game. Well, if you're Lukaku sitting on the bench, you should be looking at yourself and going, right, when I play, we're not playing that great. Kai's been leading the line and it's working. What do I need to do to get better? What do I need to do to get back in this team? And I don't blame Tuchel. I think Tuchel, we would question Tuchel a number of times. Why does he keep playing Lukaku 90 minutes, dropping stinkers? I think he done it to try and prove a point to a degree and say, look, this guy's had so many games, not done anything. We throw Kai up front. And it works. So, some people say, yeah, but he didn't play with Reece James, and that's the difference. And blah, blah, blah. I don't know.
Here's a point, mate. This whole takeover, for me, is going to be the damning of Lukaku.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you realise that because we don't have to repay that money anymore, Tuchel can turn around and say, well, we've got a new owner coming in. Why do I need to worry about paying that money in? Why do I need to worry about, having to worry about playing him anymore if he doesn't fit my system? And I think going to the press as well about slandering your own manager is the biggest disrespect, and it's disrespectful to your own fans, especially when you say you have unfinished business and then you do all this. It's ridiculous. I mean, the best way we got to make him feel at home was to get him a replica Inter Milan kit with Chelsea logo on it. Get out. Get out.
And we put him in the front of it as well. He was the leader of that show.
Grow up, Cupcake. I mean, what a ridiculous notion.
What did you feel about that interview? I never asked you. What did you feel about that whole interview thing and what he did and that?
Disgraceful. You wouldn't have got the likes of Zola or Didier Drogba, or you wouldn't have had any, I can remember strikers like Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. Hasselbank wouldn't have done things like that. He'd have made his effort count on the pitch. There's a huge difference between I'm going to cry about it like a little baby and whine and going out there and proving a point. Werner's never done that. Werner, when Lampard was playing him out of position, he said, I'm sorry, it's my fault.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, and Lukaku's now whining. It's like, oh, go back to Inter and leave us in B. We'll go. You weren't our first choice as Chelsea fans anyway. We wanted Haaland. So, there's no skin off my nose if he leaves, but, it's a, But
it wasn't just that. It was the fact that we were being told. I was being told. I had so many Chelsea Lukaku lovers that his game's better. He changed it. He can do this. He can do that. He will adapt his game. Blah 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 blah. I didn't see anything. And when he came in, I saw the same Lukaku that I saw leave Man United. Like it was his touch was poor. His what gets me the most of him? It's his movement. It's his effort and his movement. Like that's the two big. Like I hate passengers. There's one thing I cannot stand is a when we're playing and there's a player on the pitch that just does not look like he's bothered, and that's what he reminds me. Like he generally doesn't look like he's bothered, and I just find it frustrating. We should be beating Norwich. By the way, sorry guys, I'm having my lunch at the same time. I'm eating my chicken, but it's we should be beating Norwich. It should be 3-4-0 minimum. We need to build up that form, Matty, because we've got some really good games coming up. We've got some really nice games that we should be in. Leeds, Newcastle, Southampton, Everton. These are all teams that are not in great form, and they're all back to back before we get to West Ham and Man United as well. So we can definitely solidify third. We'll definitely keep ourselves above water and keep away from the battle of the top four, which is what we need to do. And Kai Havertz needs to be the player that we need to focus around. He needs to be the player that we build around. So we'll see.
And he generally wants to be there. He genuinely wants to be there, and I have a lot of time for a player who goes above and beyond trying to work hard for as an individual, but also for the club. That's why I admire people like Eden Hazard. Hazard was just one of those revolutionary players that, yeah, okay, he didn't put in the training, but he put the effort in on the pitch. And, and I think, to be honest with you, I mean, we've just got a very, very special player, and we want to thank Roman for that, So
the thing with Lukaku, and you said it, and why he gets so criticised, is that he's the highest paid player. He's taking 320k a week from us. How are we meant to be feeling as fans when he's walking around the pitch and not getting involved? How are we not allowed to criticise that?
Yeah, my advice to the owner, the future owner, is get him out quick. Get whatever you can get for him.
Do you not think you can turn this around?
No, I think the way that if he was going to turn this around, he'd have done it by now. After coming back from injury, he would have got the fans back on side. He hasn't really. I think he's personally, if he does well next season, if he's there next season, then okay, fair enough. But it's one of those. If you do an interview, especially, it lingers forever. Do you know what I mean? It's
No, I said it last stream, Jim. Only teams I worry about for next season is Arsenal, West Ham, and Southampton. They're the only teams who could take points from us. You agree with that?
I think West Ham and Southampton. I don't know about Arsenal. I still struggle to why Arsenal, why Arteta's getting a new deal. To be quite honest with you, I'm struggling as to why he's only done. I mean, Arsenal haven't won a trophy in over a year and a half, and they were already looking to give him another 3-year contract, and he wasn't really a club legend. He was more of a club legend at Everton than he was at Arsenal.
Facts. Right. I'm just trying to shoot my chicken so I can talk. 1 second, guys. Picture eye. Right. Match day 29 of 38. Brighton are playing Liverpool. Liverpool away. Brighton at home. Saturday, 12:30 kick-off. In terms of the title race, Matty, they're closing the gap to Man City. They've still got a game in hand them as well. Got the best form in the league at the moment. 5 wins in a row. They're up against a Brighton team who lost the last 4 games. They're in stinky form right now. Any way that Brighton can nick a point at least against this Liverpool team, or are they just too good at the moment?
I can't see past Liverpool at the moment. I think Liverpool there's always been 3 teams for me that I've always had to watch out for, and that's Liverpool, Man City, and dare I say it used to be United, but it's going to be someone like it's probably going to be Arsenal now. I think the way that I see Liverpool is that they're going to do their utmost to make sure that Pep doesn't have an easy ride at the top. And don't forget, they're 6 points behind. And they've lost less games than City. So, all they're struggling with is the draws. That's the only reason. And they've got a higher goal difference. So for me, I can see Liverpool getting 3 points, no doubt about it. I can see it being like either like a 1-0 or even a 2-0 draw. The highest a 2-0 win. I could just about see maybe 3-1 possibly if Brighton score. So
I hear you. We've got 1-0 Liverpool from Noah as well. Quadruple looking doubtful now is what Owen's saying. I never felt that you guys could do a quadruple anyway. I'm not going to lie. Never. I don't think they can win. I mean, I did put them as my favourites to win the Champions League. I'm not going to lie. I do think that can happen. Look, Liverpool are a bit of a weird one for me because I always feel like they give teams the opportunity to get something. It's just that they never take their chances. And you look at West Ham, for example, when they played them recently, that could have easily been a draw. Easily been a draw. They had so many chances in front of goal, and the space is there, isn't it? The space is there. They play such a high line. And I don't know. I think Brighton are a good team. They'll keep the ball well. They'll move the ball well. But they just don't have any firepower up front that can actually hurt Liverpool. They've got Neil Maupay, he's just not at the level. He's just nowhere near it. Blake is a Man City fan. He says 4-1. Liverpool are too good and they are confident and taking each game as it comes. Brighton are struggling. They are. Form says that they're struggling as well. Brighton played 2-2 at Anfield. I remember that earlier in the season. I think Liverpool were 2-0 up at that point as well, and Brighton didn't come back in. They're going to need some sort of similar performance, but the form just says otherwise. I'm going for a Liverpool win. I'm going with another 2-0 Liverpool win for this one, and they'll kick on, and I think they'll try and close the gap towards Man City. Do I think they can still win the league? It's not far. They're not far out of it. They've still got a game in hand. They could be 3 points behind Man City. Look how far we're behind, man. It's embarrassing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
As well. Do you know what I mean? It's really noisy when I look at it. But 2-2 is what Ben's saying. I wish Brighton beat Liverpool as well. Liverpool moaning about VAR, but this Chelsea. That's true, Strip Bear. They always get a little bit of...
Strip Bear's a real one. Yeah.
It's a real one, trust me. They lost yesterday at Anfield for the first time in a while to Inter Milan as well, as people don't realise. 2-0 for me all day. Liverpool to beat Brighton. Some of the boring games we have to talk about. Brentford versus Burnley. It's the most pointless game. I mean, not really in terms of Burnley because they need wins to get themselves out. They played more games than... they played less games than 2 behind them, but more games than Everton and not Leeds, actually. So they lost the last 2 games. They've won 2, drawn 1. They're up against a Brentford team who they're just not in any real great form themselves, and they seem to be dropping day by day. Week by week down the table. 27 points, 1 win, 3 losses, 1 draw. They are at home. They did get their first win in a while, but this Burnley team have some, especially with that big giant up front that they've got at the moment as well, seems to have like a focal point to go and kick on. I mean, who are you going with for, mate? Who are you picking?
I'm going for a draw, mate, to be honest. I think they're both... I mean, let's put it this way, out of the 2 that's got the worst form, it's going to be Brentford, isn't it? I mean, they've had 4 losses. They beat Norwich, but everybody's beating Norwich at the moment, if I'm honest. I mean, they lost 4-1 to Everton. They lost 2-0 to City. They lost. They drew against Palace, and then they lost up to Arsenal and Newcastle. So, I mean, for me, I can just about see. I can just see Burnley either nicking a goal, or I can see it being the 0-0 game,
there
really.
You go. I hear that. Burnley 2-1. Burnley 2-0. Burnley 2-0. Everyone's confident Burnley are going to get going for a Burnley draw. For a Burnley draw? A draw. You should just say draw. A draw, Joey Boy. It's not a Burnley draw. It's just a draw, mate. It's not Burnley or Brentford draw. It's just a draw. Big up to you. Big up to you. Guys, let's get these likes up. We should be close to 50. We've got over 80 people here. Let's get this up to 50 likes. If you haven't hit it and you're all just sitting there watching us as you are now, and that like button, fun button, still not black, it's just sitting there white, that means you haven't hit the button. So hit that button now. Let's try and get this up to 50 likes as quickly as possible, please, while you are here. 34. Come on, another 15. Another 15 likes. We can do that. We can do that as it's making its way up. 1-0 is what Josh is going for. Burnley win, 3-0. I'm going for a Burnley win as well. I'm going to go over a 2-1 Burnley. And the Voghorst, the guy they brought up front, who I think quite a good striker for as tall as he is a nuisance. He gives people headaches. I think Burnley will win this. There ain't no real reason as to why or explanation. I'm just really guessing, but it could go both ways. So I'm going to go over Burnley win against Brentford on that one. Our combined 11 game, which we're going to be doing at the end of this. Manchester United versus Tottenham. Big game this because they're both fighting for top 4. They're both fighting for Europe. And you look at Man United, who are at home, they've got a better win probability margin in Tottenham, which is very unusual. 45% to their 28. And probably because they're at home. But their form is 2 draws, 2 wins and 1 loss. 47 points. And they've played a lot of games compared to the Arsenals and the Tottenhams, who have still got games in hand. Tottenham are winning. They've won 3, lost 2. 45 points, have their week, shall we say, where they will lose a game and then they'll win 1, they'll lose. So they're not in so much great form at the moment. But, Matty, this is a weird one because you look at Man United and the individual players they have, they should be beating Tottenham. But when you look at them as a team playing together, they just don't look like a team. So, and then you look at the start of the likes of Tottenham, who you know are going to probably sit and then play on the counter. So, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. To me, I think United have pretty much. For me, I think United have just. I I feel sorry for the manager that they've got because he's dealing with a lot of personalities there. He's got Ronaldo, he's got Maguire, that's is like a broken man. You've got, I mean, he's the new Phil Jones, really, of Manchester United. No salt thrown, but yeah, it's true. But I mean, for me, I predict a Tottenham win. If Son and Kane are on form from the moment go, I can see Tottenham nicking it. I really can. You know, De Gea, where was he the last game? I mean, and their defense is just crumbling. I mean, Sancho. I mean, good God, that was the Bundesliga Sancho that we were promised that we would see. So yeah. I mean, saying that, I wanted Sancho over Pulisic, but there you go. But for me, I can see Spurs winning it.
I think it's a bit. They're missing. In fact, Ronaldo wasn't injured. Apparently, he was just put away because Ralph didn't play him in the last game, which is a bit of a weird one. I don't know how true that is. Varane seems to just be in and out of injuries. Do I think they have the individual players to beat Tottenham? Yes, because I don't think Tottenham's defense is great whatsoever. I think you can get at it. I think you can get goals at it. I think Lloris's time is slowly coming to an end. But I agree with you. If Son and Kane are on form since go, they're going to run this Man United team ragged the other way. And they're not going to be able to... I don't think they've got the players to contain that. I don't think that defence whatsoever is good enough. So I think there's goals is what I'm trying to get at. I think there might be some goals. I think this could be a draw. I could go with like a 1-1 or a 2-2. I could see that happening. I think there will be goals. But if I had to put my money on someone winning, I think this is the game Man United win. I don't know why. It's a weird feeling that they're just going to potentially win this. I mean, Josh is saying 3-0 Spurs, 3-1 Spurs, 3-2 Tottenham. Everyone's sort of pulling off the way of Spurs on this one. Didn't United did by City? Did United get done by City? Yeah, they did. They got slapped. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. But everyone's been slapped by City. We've lost twice to myself, so we can't really talk. Ronaldo makes United worse is what... I agree with that to a degree. And that goes down to the whole thing that I keep saying about Romelu Lukaku. I don't think he works hard enough for him. You know, he's just a focal point. He's just someone that you get the ball to, you know?
Well, my question to any United fan is that why did you bring him back? What's the point? You're supposed to be winning trophies, and he's not guiding you to one. What is it? What is this for him? A retirement plan? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's shocking. But I think if they don't start with Maguire, who's been shocking recently. I mean, good God, I thought some of our defenders were awful previously.
Yeah.
But if they don't start with Maguire, I can see it that United might stand a chance. If they start with Maguire, they're buggered, in my opinion.
Yeah, I see a draw. Can't see United losing. He was bought back for shirt sales, boss, is what Strip they're saying. Yeah, that's I mean, listen, the Glazers have turned Man United into a franchise. Let's be serious. They don't really care too much about anything else other than a franchise, and they got a lot going on there.
They take more out of the club, don't they? They take more out of the club than they do putting in.
100%, 100%. Ronaldo is there to sell shirts. Everyone's saying it. Euro. Look, Maguire is he's an expensive fridge. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you could go to Curry's. And you could go and buy yourself a million fridges that are probably more useful than Harry Maguire. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. It's
he's the Poundland Thiago Silva, isn't he?
He don't deserve to even be put in the same bracket of his name, does he?
No.
Big up to Fergie's son. I haven't seen Fergie's son in the house. Big up to you. He says, like, share, subscribe, support your quality channel as you continue to get quality content. Thank you very much, guys. I don't know if we're at the 50 mark yet. We're at 45, guys. If you're in and you haven't liked, hit it now. Let's get it over 50 likes. We should be on that. We're going to come back to this game because we'll be doing a combined 11 for this one a bit later on in the show. Big up to Andreas, my guy. You can go and check him out as well. A top journalist, top Chelsea journalist in the house as well. Nice to see him here as well. Big up to Dominic. He says 3-1 Spurs. Luffy Lee says whose whole defense sucks. I think, yeah, that's true. CR37 Masterclass. Yeah, I know. We need to get it up. Right, we need to get it up. We're on 48. We're nearly at the over 50 mark, so let's get that over 50. We're going to move on from this game, guys, because time is at the essence, and we're going to move on to. Joe, I want to save Chelsea last. I like saving our team to last because they always say, "Mate, save the best for last," don't they? And we are the
Absolutely.
best. Leeds versus Norwich. Yeah, I mean, what do you want to say about this? One's getting dragged down, the other one's already down anyway, getting relegated. I ain't going to say much on it, but what's your predictions on that one?
It's the old saying, isn't it? Handbags at dawn, isn't it? I can see it really being of who doesn't want to get dragged down any more than what they should be. Part of me's thinking it's going to be a draw, like a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw. Part of me's saying that I think Leeds might boss it. It might give the new manager a chance to show off his quality, really. So
yeah.
But who knows? It all depends on, if they want to bounce against if they want the bounce against Chelsea at Norwich.
They're not going to beat us. I'm pretty confident we should be beating them. I just think Leeds will beat them. I think personally Leeds will beat them. I think that Rafinha is an individual that I ain't going to lie. I wouldn't mind seeing at Chelsea. I think he's a top player. I think he can create a lot more than what we currently have in the team. And that ain't even hard to do, really, when you think about the players that we're currently playing in our forward line. So Leeds.
Well, we're constantly getting linked, aren't we, with him at the moment?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
him and Koundé. I'm hearing at the moment are the two. So we'll
2-0 Leeds from Joy Boy.
Yeah. 2-0 for Joy Boy. I'm gonna go over 3-0. I'm gonna go over 3-0. Fabrizio said that we are after Rafinha gem. Yep, that don't surprise me, but that was before Roman announced the sale, and that's the other thing. Obviously, we were close to trying to sort Koundé out, who has the same agent as Tchouameni, which is someone else that Chelsea being linked with as well. Koundé and Tchouameni, same agents. Mm-hmm. And then you also had the talks about Rafinha, and this is all before Chelsea were talking about selling. Now they've been sold. All these talks of transfers have been put on hold for them to sort out this. I just hope that the plans moving forward don't change, and that's something we'll have to talk about a bit later on. Saudi media net worth is 600 billion, is what Suzuki is saying as well. How true that is. If that's true, get in.
Take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a pinch of salt, because I can't even find anything about them, and I spent ages looking for them. So, they're not even on Forbes either. I've even looked on Forbes, I can't find anything. So,
Everton versus Wolves, your dad's team versus Wolves, man. Frank Lampard at the helm. I want him to stay up so much just for Frank Lampard, but it seems like every time he comes back into the Premier League, he just keeps getting slapped. 4 losses, 1 win, 22 points. And they're up against the Wolves team, who, let's be serious, are a very good team, but really bad form now. 3 losses in the last 5 games, 40 points. We're fighting to get into Europe as well, trying to get in the mix with the Uniteds and Arsenals. Have lost their last couple of games, just pushed them out of it. Everton are at home, and Wolves are very hard to score against. They're a very well-organised team, hard to break down. Frank Lampard, Everton, have some good players, mate. What is going on? What is going on with this team?
It's a mixture of 2 things, in my opinion. There's a lot of, sorry for using an expletive, but there's a load of crap at Everton, and there's a lot of players, as my dad pointed out, that were from Marco Silva's time. Then there was some from Carlo Ancelotti, some from Benitez, and they're just holding the system in place. Personally, for me, you've got a club there whose owner has not even a clue of managing a football club, and then you've got Frank Lampard, and he's made it a Chelsea boys club really again. And he has, because he's got like the likes of Joe Edwards. He's taken Ashley Cole off us. He's taken, even I think it was Chris Jones or somebody like that he took from Chelsea as well. And I think that's a dangerous combination. I mean, they brought Paul Clement. He didn't really do much as a manager, and now he's assistant manager. So, I feel sorry for Frank, because I watched him play as a player. I remember him start when he was a player first time round, and he was an incredible young talent. But as we very well know, just because you're a good Premier League player doesn't mean you're a good Premier League manager. And for me, I can see Wolves winning them winning against them, because I think that they have that sort of hard to score sort of structure in the way they play. Now, Frank has obviously got an attacking sort of frame in mind, but he hasn't got the players to do it. So I can see, as much as I'd like to see Everton stay up, because it'd be the first time I think it's in the first time in the Premier League history, and especially I think since the 1930s, possibly since the first division.
Yeah.
That they could be going down. But I think Everton will lose.
Do you think they're going down? Do you feel like they're going to go down, or do you think they'll have enough to stay up?
To wind my dad up, I'd like to say yes. But realistically, I don't see them going down. I think Burnley you might see the end of Burnley possibly. That's unless Leeds go down instead of Everton. So I think, let's be honest. I think Everton might have a standing chance. So I can see Wolves winning now.
Josh goes 3-0 for Wolves. There's a lot of Wolves, 2-0 Wolves here as well. Got 1-1 draw, 3-0 Everton. Sorry, 3-0 Wolves. Everton's defence is terrible. Godfrey's injured as well, which is a big miss for them. Everton centre-backs are crap. Keane is another Maguire. Frank was hard for you. I mean, look, I think the Everton team's good enough to stay up. It should be. And I don't think they're playing to the level that they should. They've got Donny van der Beek. They've got a good midfield. When you look at it, it's a very good midfield. It's just, they're just, I don't know. I just feel that, again, when I look at the way Frank's setting them up, I think he's getting it a little bit wrong. Like he did with Chelsea. And I think they're getting where they just haven't got the confidence at the moment. And he's asking so much from, like, I watched the last game round. And he's asking for them to press so high up the pitch, do you know what I mean, to try and win the ball back. And I'm just sitting there saying, this ain't Chelsea. Like, you can't do that. And you haven't got, my point is, you haven't got Thiago Silva at the back and Rudiger that that you can rely on once the press is broken. Do you know what I mean? Or a Jorginho and Kante in midfield that are going to, work hard to make sure that if the press is beaten, we'll win the ball back. I just don't think they have that structure to play like that. I think he needs to be a little bit more reserved. I'm not saying don't attack. I'm just saying, don't do elites and just be running around the pitch like headless chickens trying to shut the ball down, because they were the route to their own loss against Tottenham. They played a completely opposite way that they should have played. They should have been hard. They should have been hard. With Tottenham, that they want to counter. So what do you do to stop the counter? You don't have any spaces behind. You don't let that space between the goalkeeper and defense be available, and you make it hard for them to play through you. And if you do that against Tottenham, they haven't got the players to just keep passing and try and open up doors. They need you to come out so they can run into the pockets of space. And he didn't do that. Sometimes he just gets it a bit wrong for me when he's out. But I do think I think this is going to be a draw. Yeah, I've got this feeling it's going to be either a 0-0 or a 1-1. I don't think any more than that.
Do you know what I think Frank needs? He needs a tactical analyst. He needs somebody that will sit down with him and say, look, this is how a certain team plays. This is how it's going to be structured. You need to now realise just what sort of players and what tactical system is needed. And he didn't do that at Chelsea. No. And that's when I said, oh, well, he's tactically inept. And I had a lot of abuse afterwards. But the thing is that I was right, because he didn't learn from the previous mistakes, and he's using he's doing the same at Everton, and it breaks me really, because I want to see him do well. As a former player, I'd love to see him do well. I'm not trying to give him a hard time. I want to, if he was watching this, I'd want to give him some constructive criticism. So,
I hear you. We need to move, though, because we've got up against the time. We've got 4 games left.
Absolutely.
Keep smashing the like, subscribe if you're now new to the channel as well. Let's close the gap to 4.7k subscribers. Share on your socials as well. Please share on your socials. Let new people come in, join the community, get involved as well. West Ham versus Aston Villa. Interesting one, because West Ham are still there or thereabouts fighting. Do you know what I mean? Trying to stay in Europe, maybe potentially Champions League. I think Champions League's a bit far for them. Aston Villa, as we know, already in good form, have a game tomorrow against Leeds, and then they've got the game back to that. They've got a West Ham game. Maybe fatigue could potentially hurt him in a game against West Ham away, because West Ham are a good team at the end of the day, mate. So what are you? Who are you going for in this one?
I got Moyes. I think this is a Moyes win written all over it. I think Moyes has got. Let's not argue. Moyes has been a fantastic manager.
Yeah.
And I think that the way that he's set up West Ham in the last couple of seasons, he's made it so that they're a team to try and beat. And I think that I can see West Ham even doing them, even just by a 1-0, maybe 2. But I mean, I don't think Villa will be a pushover by any means stretch of the imagination. But I think West Ham are they're a team to watch. They are a definite team to watch. And they were the kind of team really that I worry about really when we play them, because you don't know what they're going to pull out from one day to another, especially with Moyes anyway. And he's got a lot of years of experience. So I can see there being either a draw or a West Ham win.
I hear you. 2-2, 1-1, 1-1. Aston Villa 3-0, 3-2 is what we've got here. Aston Villa, they're going for Coutinho. They think Coutinho can get the job done. I agree with you. I think this is a game slightly too far for Aston Villa. I think that the Leeds game, and then on the back of that playing on the Sunday. I mean, Chelsea got to do the same thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in this, but I just feel West Ham are strong at home. They will make it hard for Aston Villa. I think there'll be goals. I just feel that West Ham will get the job done. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 West Ham. Is what I'm going to go with for this one. Big up to Fergie's son as well. It's over 100 of you here, guys. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Subscribe to the channel. Share in your socials as well, guys. Let's get these likes up. Yeah, let's get these likes up, because again, 56 likes should be on 75. All hit that like button if you haven't already. Let's see how quickly we can get to 75 likes, please. 2-2, 3-1. Smash the likes, like Zohabe said. Come on, smash them likes. We move from this game and we move on to, well, I can give a quick thought on this one. Southampton versus Watford. Southampton at 9th, Watford at 19th. Again, not in real great form. Another team a bit like Norwich that look like they're going to go down. Southampton are at home. Is this one that Watford could maybe potentially shock and get a win in, or do you think Southampton just have too much?
I think Southampton have got too much, to be quite honest with you. I think I feel sorry for Roy Hodgson, really, because he's inherited again dire straits team. I can see it being a Southampton win, to be honest. Easy as possible.
There you go. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet as well. I'm going again with Southampton. I just can't see. I don't really think this Watford team's great. I said at the beginning of the season that them and Norwich will get relegated. It looks like that's going to happen. I did say Brighton as my last team, but I got that well wrong, didn't I? Really, but we moved from that. Yeah, we could get Matty more often. Don't worry, Matty can join us when he has time. Obviously, this is maybe like a one-off because he might have work and stuff. I don't know, but he'll be around for the Chelsea shows throughout the match reactions and ratings and that when we open up the lines as well with the panel and stuff. So lots going on, guys. Lots going on. Let's move on from this game. We got an interesting one. Arsenal versus Leicester. Obviously, Arsenal are at home. They're in great form at the moment. They've won the last 4 games out of 5. 48 points. I don't like seeing them there, to be honest. I hate Arsenal. One team I hate is Arsenal. Leicester, 33 points. Just the complete opposite to what they have been doing in the last couple of years. Kind of like struggling under Brendan Rodgers as well. Is this a game where you could see a draw or Arsenal dropping points? Or is their form going to continue them on to beating Leicester, do you think?
First of all, how dare you hurt Igal's feelings, man? How dare you? You can't say that about Arsenal. First, look, I mean, Brendan Rodgers is in dire straits, let's be honest. I actually tipped him for the sack after Claudio Ranieri. And I said, do you know what? I can see Brendan Rodgers getting the sack, because they're not performing as well as they did for the last couple of seasons. And it's a real shame, actually, because it's almost like it's filtered out, really. I mean, the one player I do admire that they've got is Tielemans. Yeah. What a player he is. I think, if we couldn't get Tchouaméni or Declan Rice, he's the next on the list, to be quite honest with you. But Yeah, I'd say possibly it's either going to be a draw for me, or I can see Arsenal winning it. Unfortunately.
Yeah. Big up to Sasuke for the donation to the channel as always. Thank you very much. It supports massively. Come on, you Blues is what he's got down. Big up to you, my man. Thank you very much again. You can hit super chats, guys. Always get them over. Helps the channel grow as well. Is Arsenal's Jim question is fourth Arsenal's to lose? I think yes and no. I mean, they are in control in terms of games that they've still got to play. But then when I looked at their fixtures list, they've still got the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Spurs. So there's a lot of games where they could still drop points. I don't think fourth is done for them, but we'll see. There's a lot to play for. I think this is going to be a draw. I'm going to go out there and say it. I'm going for a draw. I think it's either be a 0-0 stale or a 1-1. I do think they'll drop points eventually, and I think that all these Arsenal fans will soon come back to reality and then do what they do like they always do, which is they get excited because they think they're the best now because they're back, and then they get put back into place, and then they come back. You know what they're like. They're just
talk history, like like they've done any of it in the last 20 years.
No, I mean, they've been so irrelevant for the last 20 years. I find it quite funny, but anyway, we move. Palace versus Man City. Man City are top of the league. Well, just about, should we say? Liverpool closing the gap again. Still got a good sort of last 5 games. 1-4, lost 1. Beat Man United last time round up against the Palace team, who will just do what Palace do. They just sit in the middle of the table every year. They 10 and 11th like their home. They don't need to do much more than that. Vieira's done very well for them as well. But you look at where Man City are and you look how tight it's getting at the top. And even though this is an away game, mate, you've got to think that Man City are going to come for them, and they come for the next on this one.
Yeah, there's no question in my mind that's going to be a win for City. City are they're a machine, aren't they? I mean, Brian Clough used to say it about Leeds United, back when Don Revie had it, and they are a machine, and a very well oiled machine. I don't know if he likes that comment, but it's true. De Bruyne was just out of this world, and if I say that story about De Bruyne, I'll cry because I actually watched his last game, and I said, I hope we keep him. I was in the stands for that game against Hull, and he assisted, and I said to my mate, I said, I hope we keep him because he's going to do all right. And then he went to Wolfsburg afterwards. I went, oh, for God's sake, bad things always happen when I go to the bridge.
Stay away, mate. You're like me.
And then he went to Wolfsburg, and I said, you watch, he'll go to City and he'll absolutely ball us. And then as soon as he went to City, I said, I knew he'd come back and haunt us, and he has done. So I think it's got a De Bruyne goal written all over it with Crystal Palace. I think City will win it definitely comfortably, about maybe 3-0, maybe 4.
Blake is a Man City fan betting against his own team. That's a bit weird. He's saying 3-2 Palace. City 3-0, 1-1. Well, Palace have got the edge on City. People don't realise that Palace have always played well against Man City. I don't know why. It's like their bogey team. You always think back to that Townsend goal at the Etihad where he hit for about 40 yards, top corner, one in the game. Like they know how to kind of get the job done, and they have quality players on the other end of the pitch. Palace, Zaha, the AC, Conor Gallagher, always trying to prove points, having a good season at Palace as well. There's a lot to play for, but I do think City just have a bit too much for them. I'm going to go over 3-1 City on this one, and they will continue their run of form because, like Matty says, they're a machine. They are a machine, guys. We've got one more game left before we do the combined 11, and we saved the best for last, even though it was earlier on. We've gone to Chelsea versus Newcastle, Sunday, 2:00, our team. And at the back of obviously beating Norwich, which we should do.
We live in hope.
I hope so. It might come bite me in the bum for saying that. We've got Newcastle, who are in very good form. One of the best forms in the league at the moment when you look at it, really. They could be a bogey team for Chelsea, can't they? They seem to be an up and down team, especially whether it's away or at the bridge. They can sometimes be a headache to play against. I mean, Matty, we need to win. And I keep saying Norwich, Newcastle, these are games that Chelsea need to start accumulating points to solidify third and obviously keep Arsenal away from them as well, who could be 3 points behind us after their winning hand. So what are you saying?
Do you know what? I can see it being a draw.
Nah.
I can see it being... I know. I want us to win, and I'm going to go there hopefully in the mind of we're going to win. I'm hoping that we will win by either 2-0 or 3-1 or whatever. but my gut's telling me we might draw this game.
Draw. So what Strip Bear said, draw? Question mark.
Yeah, well, you've seen their form, and to be honest with you, apart from Kai Havertz, you know, and we're having to rely on Reece James and all that for goals at the moment. Lukaku, I can't see scoring at the moment. As much as I want to go back on my word, I'd like to see us at least win. I want us to win, but I can see it being a draw.
Are we just not a different beast with Reece James though back? Like we just look like we've got that extra.
Yeah, I think. I think so. I think Reece James is completely. I think he's completely changed the side, and when Ben Chilwell comes back, we'll be even stronger. But for me, my gut's telling me it's a draw. I could see it being like a 0-0 or 1-1 draw.
I don't think we can afford to drop many points.
No.
I think we need to win this game. I think we need to beat Norwich. I have to go. I always back Chelsea to win. I'm going to go over 2-0 again. I think we'll get the job done, maybe even 3. We look at our fixtures list, and I keep saying to people to the end of April, this is why. We've got Norwich and Newcastle this weekend in 2 games, which we should be winning 6 points, 6 points, 6 points. Then we have 2 games in the FA Cup and Champions Leagues to be played. And then we play again in the Premier League on the 2nd of April. I'm going to this game, actually. Chelsea versus Brentford. I'll be at the bridge for that one. But then you've got Brentford, Southampton and Leeds. So when you think about Norwich, Newcastle, Brentford, Southampton away, which can be tricky on its day, and Leeds away, who, to be fair, we should be put into bed. We should, for me, be getting 3, 6, 9, 12. I'd even say 15. I'd say we should be getting maximum 50. We need to put a run together, mate. We haven't put a run together well enough this season consistently. And I know we were top of the league back in before the 1st of December by 1 point to Man City at the time. But I just feel we haven't seen that throughout this season. And I think it's important that if we do that and we get to West Ham and Everton and Wolves, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll be well away in 3rd. And hopefully Liverpool will drop some points because they've got quite a testy fixture as well at that period. And we'll have, because West Ham at home can be tricky. Everton away, Lampard's going to want to prove a point. And then you've got Wolves at home who are just going to make it hard for us to break them down anyway. And then obviously Man United away and Watford at home's an easy one for me. But, we've got what I would say quite a decent run of games coming to the end of the season. So, what are you thinking in terms of accumulation of Premier League points when you look at that run?
Realistically, and from a hopeful, I'd like to say we win all those games, but we'll always trip. But it's natural if we trip up over 1, maybe 2 teams out of all that. I can see us tripping up against possibly the likes of West Ham and possibly, dare I say it, probably Manchester United, if I'm honest. But I think it's quite a nice little fixtures list for us, really. But I mean, to be fair, the FA Cup one, I'm actually looking forward to seeing actually against Middlesbrough.
That'd be interesting. That'd be
really interesting. That one's got a, they've taken United out and they've taken Spurs out. So, that's going to be a bit of a shocker, that one.
No title charge, unfortunately. Paul, I think we're done with that one, mate. You're right, Jim. We should be taking maximum points. And this is what I'm saying. We should be now putting a good... Even like Reece James is back. We've got, without Ben Chilwell, we've got a fully fit squad there. We can utilise it. We can mix it. I know Lukaku's not scoring goals, but if he's going to stat pad in any game, it's going to be like Leeds away or... Do you know what I mean? Or like just the easy games. Even Norwich tomorrow, he should be bullying them. Do you know what I mean? And scoring. So... we'll see what happens, guys. We're going to be doing a preview tomorrow. Norwich versus Chelsea. Around this sort of time, 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll let you guys know closer time. So we'll be delving more Chelsea and talking about all the other news in regards to Roman and that as well. The players need to show some character and put some... They do.
Yeah,
they need to show us that. Should we focus on the FA Cup and the UEFA Champions League, Matty?
Well, it's a trophy, isn't it? I'd like us to focus on securing top 4, challenging for the FA Cup, and challenging for the Champions League. Champions League's a must for me.
Krusty on the bench for the rest of the year. Yeah, I agree. Christensen should never play for us again, personally. I think he's a snake, to be honest. But
yeah,
that's my opinion on that one. Especially when you've turned down your club twice and then gone, actually, I want to go Barcelona. Like, I ain't got time for that.
Makes
I've
me
got
laugh
time
when he
for that.
says it's about Premier League loyalty and he doesn't want to join a Premier League club,
Yeah,
but and then he does that, and then he does that.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
He's nonsense. The last player that went to Barcelona was probably one before that. Actually, was Idiger Johnson, and he scored
yeah,
against us, and he was
yeah,
fucking disrespectful as fuck. I remember that game; it pissed me right off as well.
yeah.
But we move. I do think Chelsea will win this game, guys. I said it already, 2-3-0 on this one as well. But we are going to do our quick FIFA squad builder. We've got about 20 minutes or so left quickly to run through this as well. Make sure you smash the like, guys. There was over 110 of you here. Only 70 likes. We should be at like 100 likes now. So everyone smash the like button now. How quick can we get this to 90 likes? How quick can we do it? Hit the like button. I'm staring at it. I'm literally staring at it as we speak. How quick can we get this likes up, guys? Come on. Support the channel. It helps run through the algorithm better. It helps new people see it. New people subscribe. New people want to get involved with what we're doing here as well. So let's try and get them likes up. 72 likes. Come on, guys. Keep doing it. Should we do this squad builder for Manchester United and Spurs? So we're going to do it on FIFA squad builder. We're going to stick to a 4-3-3, which is obviously the most common and easy lineup to do. And we'll start with the goalies. I want you viewers to get involved as well. Remember, super chat gets priority. So if you super chat a position and you want someone to be penned in, you can do that. But if someone else outbids you on your super chat, then obviously their demands gets called. So guys, remember, super chat option if you want to get involved as well. Matty, goalies, De Gea or Lloris?
Lloris all day.
Really? I would say De
Yeah,
Gea. I'd say
really.
De Gea. Yeah, I would. Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
think De Gea is
Calamitous
without
errors.
De Gea. I think De Gea's done so much for Man United that without De Gea, they wouldn't be where they were. I think he accumulates so many points in games. I think he's so disrespected in that instance as well.
Yeah. I mean that's an accurate. That's an accurate one. But for me, I think Lloris is a good goalie as well. I think but I've seen De Gea recently. I don't think he's had the defence to back him up. In all fairness, but for me, I'd rather have if I was going to pick a five-a-side, it'd be Lloris in goal out of the two.
All right, viewers, De Gea or Lloris? Because it's me going for De Gea, Matty going for Lloris. We're giving it to you guys. The first 3 comments to come in, either right, De Gea or Lloris now. So once they come in, we'll go in. So go. What are we saying? Come on. De Gea or Lloris, guys, in the chat. Let's see what people are saying. DDG, Lloris is good. DDG, so that's 1-1. 2-1 De Gea. What are we going for? What are we going for? De Gea.
De
So
Gea,
everyone's got De Gea. It
fair
is.
play.
De Gea is what they've asked for in the chat, so we will go for that one. You might get a lot of that as we go through. If me and Matty disagree on certain players, certain individuals, that's what makes it interesting for you guys to get involved. Right back. Who they got? Emerson Royale, Doherty, AWB, or Dallo. Now, I would say that Dallo's had a pretty decent season for Man United since he's come in, but I don't know. I mean, none of them are really great, are they? This is like just pick your hand in the thing and just pull it out. Do you know what I mean?
It's like what's in the bargain bin today, sort of thing. It's that's probably what it is. I wouldn't pick Emerson. I wouldn't pick Emerson for Liverpool money. Yeah. I wouldn't choose Aaron Wan-Bissaka either. So I think they're both as bad as each other, to be quite honest with you. I think probably I'd go with your pick, to be honest, Jem.
All right, fair enough. Strip Bear says, see no Chelsea, my pick. Yeah, listen, tomorrow, Strip Bear, at around this time, we will do the Chelsea 11. The Chelsea 11 for the game against Norwich, where you guys can then pick and choose who you want in the formations. But we're doing the game of the week right now. So the game of the week is it being the Prem show. We've chosen Man United and Tottenham as the game of the week. But thank you for the donation. As always, Strip Bear, big supporter of the channel as well. This is not a United show. Doherty for now is what they're saying. I'd say Dallo, personally. Dallo. Yeah, I'm going to say Dallo. I think Dallo's actually not great, but he's just not bad, shall we say. Who are your 2 centre-backs? Because we know Maguire don't get in. We know Lindelof. is a bit of a stale one. I mean, Romero for Tottenham.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say Romero.
Who plays next to him? Because I don't think Eric Dyer's good whatsoever.
No,
Varane's injured, from what I understand. Otherwise, I would have said Varane.
I'd have
So,
said Varane.
if we go for Varane, I don't know if Varane's injured or not. They've not confirmed yet, so we have to see. Big up to Sasuke says no American owners. Thank you for the donation to the channel as always. He's just at every time he comes on here, they're always saying no American owners. That's what Sasuke's saying. Big up to you, my man, as well.
Well, they've seen what Arsenal and Manchester United are being owned like, so of course they're going to. We're not like that.
Justice for the fridge, Romero and Varane and Romero. Okay, all right, let's do Varane. Just on the instance that he is fit. Pace merchant, as I like to call him. Anyway. Left back, Luke Shaw or Reguilon? I don't think Luke Shaw's good whatsoever this season.
I don't think so. I mean, he's had his moments, but for me, it's going to be Reguilon.
I agree. There's not even a discussion for that one for me. I just think he had such a good season. He had such a good season last season, Luke Shaw, where he was the best left back in the Premier League. And I said he's got an issue with consistency. What has he done this season? He's been poor. So we move. De Gea, Reguilon, Romero, Varane, and Dalot are the back five. Midfield three. Matty, you've got the likes of Højbjerg, you've got the likes of Fred McTominay, you've got the likes of Pogba, you've got the likes of who else have we got? Bernardonka, what his name is, Kulieski. Like, who are you going for? Who's your three in the midfield?
Well, it isn't going to be McFred for a start. I mean, sounds like a pound I'm McDonald's, isn't it? I would say. Oh, we forgot Telles, didn't we? We forgot Alexis Telles. Let me know.
He's hardly played.
Well, he hasn't, no, to be fair.
Bentancur is maybe a good shout.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say Pogba for one.
Pogba, Bentancur, and Højbjerg?
Yeah, that sounds like a good shout to me.
Yeah, I think Højbjerg is good, to be honest. I always spell his name wrong. There he is. Where you going, Højbjerg? Come back.
There you go. Fergie's son's just said it himself. Varane and Shaw have COVID, apparently.
Have they?
Yeah, apparently.
So if Varane has to be removed, who are we going with then? Lindelof. I'll make the decision.
Phil Jones.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Fuck it. Phil Jones, because every time he's come on, Phil Jones, he's actually been all right this season.
Yeah.
You know, he's not done much wrong. He's even got a blooming great card for himself. Look, there we go, Phil Jones, Højbjerg, Pogba, and Bentancur. Yeah, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Where would Bruno fit though? Bruno Fernandes.
That's a good question mark, because we go to the front three now, and obviously, sure, it gets tricky because. No, actually, it doesn't, because Son played for me anyway. Doesn't it? Son has to be in the team.
Yeah.
Harry Kane has to be up front over Ronaldo for me. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah. I think Kane's definitely there.
What I would do there is put Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
As like an inside four. Does that make sense? Like
I
would have Son, Kane, Bruno Fernandes, Pogba, Højbjerg, Bentancur. Yeah.
You'll get no argument from me there.
Sancho's not been good enough. Rashford's been very poor, hasn't he, to be fair? Elanga, who's playing quite well. Can he get in? No, not over them. I think that's probably fair when you look at it like that. You know, Bailly. I forgot about Bailly as well.
Oh, yeah. Eric Bailly.
I think that's not bad. I don't think Sancho deserves to be enjoyable. I don't think he's done enough to merit himself to be in this squad, you know, but...
He's only turned up once, hasn't he?
Exactly. Son and Kane's definite. Phil Jones the GOAT. Dorothy on the best form out of these four. Can see Sancho as well. Well, guys, before we tie up, we're going to give you 5 minutes to get your questions in for us. Any questions now, so we can get away from Prem Talk. It could be about your team. It could be about Chelsea. It could be about Man United. It could be about the world. You've got 5 minutes to get your quick fire questions in now as well. That was the combined 11 there. So question time. Quick fire questions though, yeah? Quick fire questions. Let me make sure they're quick fire questions for us. and we'll try and answer all of them as quickly as possible. It could be comparisons, Pogba versus Kovacic, or whatever. Whatever you think, whatever you want to ask, get asking away. What for? What you got a spare for, Fatal? What game is a Chelsea fan? Spare for what? Get your questions in, guys. I am waiting for your questions if there is any. Kai versus Sancho, boss. What's the best? For me,
Definitely.
it's an easy one. Kai Havertz.
Kai.
I mean, Matty?
Yeah, Kai Havertz. I mean, Sancho bossed the Bundesliga, but Kai's bossed both. So
yeah, definitely an easy one. Oh, Newcastle. Okay, what's that mean? Is it a single or a pair? If it's a pair, even better. If it's single, not a problem. What? Let me know the details. I want to know where the seat is as well, Fatou. What's that mean? What's next for Ampadu next season? Backup centre back or backup CDM option for Tchouameni or Rice? I don't think Ampadu gets in this team anymore, mate. I don't know about you. I think he's still on loan, isn't he, for Chelsea? Do you think he gets in? Like, I don't know.
If we buy Tchouameni or Rice or anybody of the same nature as those two, I can see him being sold and used as counterweight to try and get somebody better.
Yeah. Do you think Arsenal can get third, Jim? No. I'm confident in our team getting third. I say it now. I am confident. And Matty, can Arsenal catch us up?
Same answer. I can't see Arsenal getting third.
Fair enough. Question 2. Positions we need to sign for this summer. Go on, Matty.
Centre defender to replace Christensen. It's probably a Koundé. And possibly I would like to see us at least buy somebody who can actually score a goal. So, yeah, that's probably something I'd like to say.
How much do you want? Matthew Island Low, a few blocks near mine, block 9. All right. How much do you want? Message me how much it is. What time is it? 2 o'clock Sunday, isn't it? Yeah, I'll probably be down for that. If I haven't got anything planned. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've got anything planned. I don't think I've got anything planned. So, yeah. Tchouameni is a god. What's your thoughts on Tchouameni as a player? Good player?
Amazing player. I think people are taunting it, touting him out as the new Kante. So I think he's, I think if we get him, we'll be absolutely sound, really.
Right. Let's Madrid or PSG tonight? Good question. I'm going to go Madrid.
Really?
Karim Benzema is on absolute fire at the moment. I know Mbappe is as well, but I just got this feeling that they're going to do it. What are you saying?
Do you know what? I can see Paris Saint-Germain just parking the bus and seeing it all happen, really. But we'll see. I'm pretty open-minded to that one, but I can see Paris Saint-Germain parking the bus.
Fair enough. I don't even know why he does these step overs. Personally, I don't really get it. He doesn't even go anywhere with it. It takes him half hour to get his leg over the ball. Like, I don't get. Like, it's so obvious.
It's like watching your granddad trying to dance, isn't it?
It's just don't. Yeah, it's not pleasing, is it? It's not pleasing.
No, it isn't.
Pleasing. Should fans stop singing Roman's name at games? No, I don't.
They shouldn't, but I think there's a time and a place, and I think, in my opinion, during the clap against the Ukraine, to support the Ukraine, wasn't a good idea. No,
I agree with that. I agree with everything you said there. Time and place. I don't think we should not be allowed to sing his name. He's done so much with this football club and respectful. So,
he's a statue.
He's a statue. Yeah. If Keba goes, will we need another backup goalkeeper? 100%. We always need backup goalkeeper. That's an easy one. Who's the best player at City right now? Probably Kevin De Bruyne for me at the moment.
Yep, too right.
He's on fire again. Would you bring Broha back? This is an interesting one because I think Broha is a top player. I think he has a lot more. I think him and Kai Havertz could really work together as a two up front. Do I think it's the right time? No. I think he'd still need. I would personally give him another season, but then again, coming back to Chelsea, not playing as many games. Lukaku doesn't leave. I don't know. Like, it's a tough one for me. What do you think, man?
Out of Lukaku and Brodia. I think, to be honest with you, Lukaku's out. To be honest, I'd rather have him at least than that way. You actually see him working in games, and the way he composes himself on the pitch, and the way he scores goals practically for fun, near enough. I mean, it's something that we need desperately.
Thoughts on signing Oliesi from Palace, Gnabry on free and sending Cho on loan? I mean, this is all ifs and buts, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Oliesi's a top player. I like him. I think he's very good. I think he'd suit the way he plays. I prefer Rafinha over him. Don't get me wrong, but really, he's a good player. Gnabry is a top elite player and good at what he does at the end of the day. So, again, I don't think that will happen. Do I think Cho should go on loan? Hell yeah. I just think he's inconsistent. Personally, that's my opinion of it.
I can see Cho being sold, if I'm honest. Because I mean, he was so close to being out the door to go to Munich, probably either last season or the season before. I think he's just not settling. He's just not, and it's a shame really, because I had so much high hopes for him, and he's probably one of my favourite players.
Oh, he is fire, Fergie. I love him. I think he's really good, but I do like Rafinha as well. I just put Rafinha a little bit more on him, but that's not a bad thing. Any truth in Hazard in Newcastle rumours? Don't know.
No. He's not. No, they may have money, but I mean, Hazard. I mean, his brother came out on social media recently to say that he's got another season left at Madrid, and then he'll analyse his options then. And I think that's about right, really.
I've not heard that, but Thomas Tuchel has gone live as we speak to do the press conference for tomorrow's game. So we will hear on news if there's any injuries in the next sort of half hour or so as well, guys. But still over 90 of you here. Smash the like button, guys. We are going to finish it off there because I've got to shoot and Matty's probably got his rest of his day to get on with. I enjoyed it. Great show, Matty. You're always welcome to come again and join us for these couple of shows, mate. It was a decent one. Obviously, we can talk about... well, it would be good to get you on some of the Chelsea ones. Obviously, we'll be doing. Obviously, talks about who's going to be the new owner for Chelsea. Right, that will be definitely a stream we'll be doing. Match reactions, preview shows to the games. Who should we be starting? Thomas Tuchel's thoughts. We go through everything on here. So there's a lot that we'll be delving into, and it'd be good to have you back again. But let everyone know, because you've got a YouTube channel as well, haven't you? So it'd be good for people to go and follow you on saying a little bit different, guys.
Yeah, so I do a lot of landscape photography. I do a lot of adventures. I'm actually doing currently another series of doing paranormal activity. So in my local area, we're actually hoping to go beyond the Midlands and then going all the way around the UK. And it's a channel called Shropshire Lad Adventures. You're more than happy to go and have a look. So yeah. And that's all I do at the moment. So,
check it out, guys. Go and check him out and go and subscribe. I know a lot of you guys love Matty today. You're saying bring him back again. He's invited, man. He's always invited. He's a Chelsea fan. So this is the home of Chelsea anyway. So, yeah, big up to you, Joy Boy. Nice seeing you guys. Before you leave, guys, make sure you get this to 100 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, do so. Subscribe as well. We're on our road to 4,630 subscribers. So if you can help me get to that 30, it'd be great as well. Be great. I'll be back tomorrow because we'll be doing the preview show to the Norwich game. We'll be reviewing Thomas Tuchel's conference, which he's doing as we speak right now, giving more news on the Roman Abramovich saga, which will probably have some more news tomorrow about new owners and new billionaires and whatever else. Also, Musin says he's got a big announcement tomorrow. It might be around when we're live, breaking news and GNA TV again. You know how big they go. So let's see what happens. Enjoy the rest of your day. Big up to Fergie, Son, Strip Bear, Ben, everyone that was in here as well, guys. Thank you for tuning in, Joy Boy, as well. Be back again tomorrow. And peace out, guys. See you later.
See you later.